Hi guys, it's Emily from Novel Novels and welcome to today's video. This is my December wrap-up part 2. Now, as you're all well know, I've currently got COVID. The day that this comes live is the day that the penultimate day of isolation. So as long as I test negative in the morning and in the next day, I will be out on Tuesday, and God, am I going to be celebrating big time. Can't wait to get out and about again. Thank you all for your lovely words of support this last few days. It's been one of the crappiest Christmases going. I've had Chris having COVID, then myself having it. It's been really rotten, and looking after 2 kids as well. It's not been fun. Luckily, I am feeling better on the date that I'm filming this on Friday the 31st. I'm starting to feel a bit more human. But before I do my stats and everything else, I want to say a massive thank you to all of you, of course, but especially to Alice from Alice's Giant Bookshelf, to Jem from Gemma Books, to obviously my booktube bestie Gemma from Read a Book Gem, and from Angie's Book Chatter. They have been actually messaging me nearly every single day, checking up on how I am, and I cannot thank them enough. I've found real friends on here. Now 2021 has been the crappiest year, one of the crappiest years for everyone. And I am genuinely hoping that 2022 is better. I will be doing a video that will be coming live. Let me just double check the dates because I've got it. On the 10th of January, and that will be a wrap up in general of the whole year. I've counted my books. I think the book that I'm about to finish today, which is included in the video, is my 403rd book. That's not bad, is it? Started doing my stats, but I'm going to complete them. But like I said, I'm still a bit muzzy-headed. I will talk about everything as much as I can today, but I have got a bit of a cough, so please bear with me if I'm a little bit, if I don't want to do too much. You know, I'm a chatterbox, but even a chatterbox with a croaky voice is a bit struggling. So here's the stats first. I only bought 18 books this month. That will be obviously shown to you in my book haul, which will be my next video. And I was gifted 10 books. So I gained 28. I read 31 books off my unread TBR, which is bloody brilliant. And I unhauled 3 unread books. So I am celebrating big time. My December unread TBR was 447 books. My January, so I'm starting 2022 with 441 books. Yes, I have gone down by 6 books. Now, I have now got 41 books to get rid of my unread TBR. I want to get my physical TBR down to 400 books by the end of the year. Do you think I can do it? Let's see. Let me know in the comments below if you think I can physically get it down. So that will mean borrowing a lot less books. I'm not going to use the library now. Borrowing less off my sisters and my mum, and trying to read as many of my physical TBRs. I'm obviously still going to be doing the try chapter task to get books off that I bought on a whim and trying to be buying a lot less books. I can do this. So now here is the books. I totally read, I think it was 32 books this month, which is not bad. Hang on a minute. Yeah, I read 32 books this month. That's pretty darn good. Considering it's December and considering I've got COVID. Very good. I read 1 classic, which was, as you can see, is a bit pants. 2 fantasy, they were quite good. 3 non-fictions. 9 historical fiction. And let's be honest, it was December. We knew what genre would be the best. 17 contemporary books. I smashed it. Now, you know how the first December part 1, I had loads of 5 stars. I'm going to be honest with you, I've only got 1 in the second half. I don't know if that's because I feel pants and I've not been able to rate the books as much, whether emotionally I'm being tougher with my ratings, or whether it is the fact that I'm growing as a person and I'm tougher with my 5 stars. But I've only got 1 5-star book. So I'm not going to ask you to predict it because, you know, I'm not going to bother. But let's get on with it. Now we're on to starting talking about my books. I had 1 DNF, which was my TBR jar book. Praying TBR jar is going to be nicer to me next year. But now this will be my first book that I didn't rate because it's a non-fiction. I don't think it's right to rate it. Mia's going to be handing me this. but I think it is brilliant. It's Love You Always by Mae West, and I thought it was a very good book. I am going to be sending this to the lovely Chloe from Chloe Reads Books as part of her birthday gifts, because she deserves it. Amazing. This is about, we all know about Fred West and Rosemary West, who were the mass serial killers in the UK. And I think it was like the 80s. They did a lot of killing, 70s and 80s, and 90s they got caught, I think. And this is their story told by their daughter. This is about one of their daughters that luckily survived all this. And it's her story about what happened to them. And it's brilliantly well written. It's interesting to find out what it was like to live with the serial killers, how they were emotionally manipulative, their family life. I think this is a fascinating book, and it's one I definitely recommend to people. I think I might try and read a bit more true crime. Chloe's kind of got me interested in that, but that's going to be sent off to Chloe. Now, my 2-star book I don't physically have with me because it was my library book and I'm put it on my pile to go back, and that was Winter Wonderland by Belinda something or other. Didn't enjoy it. Really flat, and it was like yuck, so that was crap. I have had I've had two 2-star books this month and one 2.5-star book, but now I will go on to my 3-star books, and they were all okay. 3 stars is, for me, is a very much of an okay thing, kind of a state of the plan. They wouldn't necessarily be memorable, so 3 stars is a good enough book that it was alright to reread, and I read it quite easily, but not one that I would memorise, and certainly not one I'm going to keep. First of that is a Russian book, Christmas. This is the second in the series, and I don't know if I should have got the first, but I thought Christmas, wartime book. This was so run-of-the-mill. I didn't connect with the characters. This is low-end 3 stars, I think. Set in the East End. It was alright. Just nothing. I didn't really connect with the characters, and I didn't really feel like I grew with it. So, very blur 3 stars. That's going into the charity shop. A Christmas book that was on my TBR jar for you guys to pick, but you didn't pick it, but I thought I'd just get it over and done with anyway. This is Carol Matthews' Wrapped Up in You, and this is very contemporary, but it had some real triggery kind of tropes. Janie is a 30-something hairdresser, and she goes abroad to meet, and she meets this guy abroad, and it's whether the romance is real or whether it's a romance because the guy kind of wants to get a visa to come to the UK, and I wasn't sure about that. I did kind of think, oh, is it quite stereotypical? Is she not seeing what we're seeing, or are we being negative? And it just felt very much like she was just seeing the best in him, and I wasn't sure if it was real, and it was just very samey. It wasn't Carol Matthews' best book in my eyes, but it was all right, and I'm glad I read it. That's a charity shop. Then my classic that I am keeping, because it's a classic, is Sylvias Lover by Elizabeth Gaskell. Now, I will be rating the Gaskell books in January, but this one was not a brilliant one. This is probably one of my lower end ones. Charlie from Charles Heathcote, he did not love this, and I didn't love it. It was all right, and Sylvia is a great character, and there is a baddie, and it was all right, but maybe it wasn't the right time for me to read this. So this is definitely one I need to reread and see if I rate it higher when I reread it. Now the next 3 stars is this one. And Gemma loves Rose Tremaine. My Butchie Bessie loves Rose Tremaine. And this was alright. Gustav is an alright character, and it's alright. Sorry, there's a dog barking. But it wasn't, I just didn't connect with the characters in this. Set in Switzerland, and it was set over quite a few years. It starts off at the start of the Second World War. And then Gustav's father has mysteriously died, and his adored mother is strangely cold and indifferent to him. I didn't connect with them, and I don't know if that's because I was reading it when I wasn't in the right headspace or what, but didn't connect with this. 3 stars. I'm sorry, Gemma. I just don't think Rose Tremaine's for me. I really don't. This next one is the last 3 stars, and this is Love Always by Harriet Evans. Mia picked this. She did all right, but I think it was a long book, and it was too long for me at the moment. And this was a powerful tale of lost love, family secrets, and those little moments that can change you forever. As Natasha Kapoor travels back to Cornwall for her beloved grandmother's funeral, she has no idea what fate holds in store. And it's also got the story of, it's a dual timeline, it's got the story of her aunt, Cecily, who was killed many years ago. The dual timelines were connected all right, and it was an all right book. Very contemporary, very kind of easy to read, but a bit too long for me, so charity shop. Then this one is 3.5 stars. And it was my buddy read with the lovely Sarah from Sarah MG Reads. And it was 3.5, it was 3 stars away. It didn't really get Christmassy till right at the end. And I hated half the characters in it. Like, I don't know if I was meant to hate them, and that was what was really weird. And we were both like, when's it going to get Christmassy? When's it going to feel good? And in the end, took quite a good turn. But there was some I just didn't like half the characters in this, but I think I wasn't meant to like them. It was fun reading with Sarah. It was this was your TBR choice for me for the contemporary Christmas book. But again, it was all right, nothing spectacular. So another charity.
The Wicked Comet.
There you go. You heard Thomas in the background. This is the Wicked Comet. This was one of the ones that I randomly picked off my shelf because I thought I would like it. And again, it was all right. It was this is where I go into my 4 stars. And it was all right. It's a gorgeous book. And to be honest, I just think someone else should probably have it because it's got great LGBTQI plus references in it. It's got fantastic bits. The Hester White is a great young character who I really enjoyed reading about. And then she's got she meets up with the mysterious Rebecca Brock and whispers of her past life begin to poison her. It's quite a good historical fiction book. Very easy to read, very fast flowing. 4 stars, but this was a good 4 stars. But it's not quite good enough for me to keep, and it's a beautiful book, but I've been given more beautiful books for Christmas, and I think this isn't going to get it enough to keep on my shelves.
This is a good Beth from Sarah Lee.
This is a good Beth from Sarah Lee. My sister Charlie got me this, and it was the one we buddy read. We paid full price for this. I rated it 4 stars. Charlie rated it 3. I loved the good bear. He's a cute bear. I love the girl. Thea is really cute. I'm keeping it because Charlie gave it to me for Christmas. And I'm wondering if I may reread it and if the kids might like it. But Thea is a bit of a brat at times. And she did annoy me. But I love the bear. I love the relationship the bear and Thea form. And it's a cute, cosy, Christmassy book. Very middle grade, very good, but I am going to keep that. So that's going to be there.
The Mothers of Quality.
The Mothers of Quality Street. This is the second book in the Quality Street series. And I have enjoyed it. I don't enjoy it enough to keep it, but I really did enjoy it. And you're revisiting some of the Quality Street characters. So I'm not can't go into too much detail because obviously the characters from the first book. But Renee and Mary are from the first book. And they are going through a different challenge in this book. But it is good. And it's talking about motherhood and how mothers went to work at the time and getting the mothers into factories and things like that. So that was quite a good book. And it is, like I said, the characters are lovely. I wanted a bit more about the Quality Streets, chocolates, because you know me and chocolates. It was a good book, very cosy, quite a good Christmassy book.
A Wedding in December for Sarah Morgan.
A Wedding in December. This was probably my least favourite of the 2 Sarah Morgan books I read at Christmas, but I did really enjoy it. Bit of a stereotypical tropes in this though. The White family are gathered for Rosie's wedding. In the Christmas wedding, it's a whirlwind, a whirlwind romance, and the bride's parents go, and they were estranged at the start of this, and they put up this front that they're together now to make sure that they don't upset their youngest daughter. Their eldest daughter is having a really hard time. She's got post-PTSD, from what I can believe, and I can't really go into too much detail going 6 it away, but she spends her life worrying about Rosie because Rosie's had poor health. She's asthmatic. And I know as a big sister, you want to protect your younger siblings. You want to do anything for them. But she does not believe that Rosie's really in love and she tries to jeopardise the wedding. I've got sisters. I love my sisters more than life itself. But I don't think I would have probably tried to get involved in their wedding even if I didn't think they were the right idea. Wouldn't really get involved. Not my place. Bit of an interfering sister thing. But it was good, but really good romance.
Christmas at the Hotel for Jenny.
Colgan. This one let me down. I buddy read this with lovely Nikki from Red Dot Reads, and considering that the first in the series, the book before this, The Island Hotel, was Island Christmas, was 5 stars, and I can already tell you it was my favourite book of the month. This one let me down. There was too many new characters. We didn't visit the old characters enough. it's obvious that our favourite character, Flora, has she has postnatal depression, and that's pretty obvious right at the start, but it doesn't tackle it enough. It doesn't talk about Saeed's romance with the Doctor's romance with Lorna enough. It doesn't talk about old stuff enough, and it talks about it tackles so much, and it's such a rushed book, but it doesn't deal with the things I wanted it to deal with as much. So I'm keeping it, but I didn't enjoy it anywhere near as much as I enjoyed the book before that.
Well, that my thing for Cafe Isaac.
This is again very good. I've already read this with Gemma from Read a Book Gem, and this has got dual timeline. It's got Harriet, who's a journalist in 1990, and Ellie, who's a gardener in 2018. Ellie has got very bad agoraphobia. She doesn't leave the house, she doesn't leave her garden, she stays in her grounds. But when you find out why, you understand it. And it's got, the only thing that let it down a whole star was the romance that was running throughout most of it. Because you knew that the guy she was with was a complete dickhead. And she's not seeing it, and you're thinking, why are you so naive? Why are you such a wally? But the more you find out about Ellie's past, you understand why she was that, and I love that. Again, it's tackling agoraphobia, it's tackling anxiety, it's tackling how so many events in our childhood can affect who we are. Oh, and a little heads up, Ellie's surname is Heathcote. Oh, Charlie's Heathcote. Bloody good surname. Very good reason to pick this book up. I definitely plan to look for more Catherine Isaac books because I really did enjoy this. This was a high-end 4 stars. If it wasn't for the chicky-litty romance that was a bit too cheesy and a bit too like you wanted to bash the girl over the head with the book, you know, it was a good book. I just wanted to bash her over the head with it. Stopped quite a few times. Really did enjoy that.
East and Angels for Rosie Kennedy.
This is one of those books that I think is... I only finished it yesterday. I'm now thinking it could probably be a 4.5 star book. So actually, I'm not going to talk about this. Thomas, I've got to put that one away because that I think was 4. No, I want that one for now. I'm going to talk about that in a minute because that's 4.5 stars. Thomas, put that back. I'm going to read this. Talk about this one next. This is The Christmas Promise by Sue Moorcroft. She's a new to me contemporary author, and this was a great cozy contemporary Christmas book, but one that has characters. Again, it's tackling stuff. It's tackling loads of stuff in it, and it's brilliant. Eve of Lissam is going to be a Christmas to remember. On a snowy December evening, Sam Geraint steps into the life of the bespoke hat maker Ava Sparks, and Sparks fly, and not necessarily the good one. Times are tough for Ava. She's struggling to make ends meet. Her ex-boyfriend is a bully, and this is really tackling domestic abuse in all the ways, and how bullying is quite things. And I've experienced bullying, as you guys well know, quite badly. My partner's had to deal with a lot of previous scars from previous relationships and bullying, and this is brilliant. The way Sam is and the way Sam looks after her, I love this book. I've got another Sue Moorcroft book on my shelves for next Christmas, and I will be picking it up right at the start. The way this tackles the bullying and the way this tackles it is a brilliant book. I really thoroughly recommend this, but it's not the cozy chicky litty. It's tackling hard-hitting issues, but it's doing it in a really great way. So I love this book. Sky. Oh, actually, I've asked Thomas to give me that, and I shouldn't have yet. So that one is another 3.5, 4.5. But Thomas, I'm asking you to hand me them in the wrong order. I'm going to finish this today. I'm not quite finished. It's either going to be 4 or 4.5, so I might as well tell you it now. And this one, my sister picked for me to read as the last book of the year. So I'm already starting my January books a day early, and I don't care. And this is about 4 friends, Eve, Justin, Susie and Ed. And they've been best friends since they were 18. Now in their 30s, the 4 are still as close as ever. Thursday night pub quiz is still sacred, and Eve is secretly in love with Ed. Maybe Eve should have moved on by now, but she can't stop thinking about what could have been. And she knows Ed thinks the same. And then one night, in an instant, all their lives change forever, and Eve discovers she isn't the only person keeping secrets. This is really good, but again, it's very hard-hitting. You're tackling some things. And you were right, I'm sorry, Ed is a character I wanted to smack round the head with this book as well. I wanted to beat him up half the way through this book. And I'm thinking, Eve, why are you so bloody naive? Why aren't you seeing what a dickhead he is? Sorry, I am saying what I see at the moment. And then there is a brother that appears in this, Susie's brother. And he appears like a dick at the start, but I'm growing to like him. So this is 4 or 4.5. I can't wait to finish this when I stop recording. So now on, no. So now this one was definitely 4.5 stars, and this was Christmas Under a Cranberry Sky by Holly Martin. This was another new to me Christmas author, Holly Martin. I'm going to pick up a lot more Holly Martin contemporary books because this was good. I loved it. Pippa Chesterfield's life as a travel writer is glamorous. Staying in the finest hotels for her is everything. She calls nowhere home, and that's how she likes it. But when Piper's next assignment brings her to the enchanting Stardust Lake Hotel, it should be business as usual until Gabe Whittaker, the man who broke her heart, checks in. And it's a cosy romance, and I love Gabe. I love Gabe's brother that I shouldn't love as well. What is it with me and loving the bad boys, eh? But it's brilliant. Another cosy contemporary. Definitely going to pick up more Holly Martin books for over the next year. She's a newly ordered. No, last time. East End Angels. I've now upped it. Where's my pen? I need a pen. I need to up it to 4.5 stars. I'm going to up it right on my book because otherwise I'm going to put that down as that. Put that down as 4.5 stars because I really did enjoy it. It's my first book in the East End Angels series, and I needed a book to start me off as soon as I got diagnosed with COVID. And I picked up this book originally because my mum's from the East End. I believe that angels come into your life for a reason, and I have met a lot of booktube angels. You know who you are out there. And yeah, this is a brilliant book. I picked it up because I needed something to make me smile. I needed something to remind me that yes, my battles that we're having with COVID are crap, and yes, we're going through the shittest time ever. But they survived the war. We can survive COVID. And their war lasted 5-6 years. I wonder how long this rubbish is all going to go on for. But brilliant characters. 3 great women, Winnie, Belle and Frankie. Friendships that last forever. And obviously you guys know I love friendships. You're all my friends. Bloody good book. Like wartime books. Like saga kind of books. Like books like that. Pick this up. Then Thomas will now pass me the last book and the favourite book of the second half.
Escape for
Sarah Morgan.
Sarah Morgan.
This was a great Christmas book. It's my 5 stars. I know Cat from Brews and Reviews didn't like it as much. It was Sarah Morgan's newest release, and I got it for £1. About escape, about parenthood, about going away, about families, about loads of different things. And it's brilliant. And it's a great Christmas book. And if you didn't buy it this year, buy it for next year. Loved it. And typical me, I didn't pull out my favourite books of the year. Favourite books of December, but I'm going to tell you them. Yes, the first book was An Island Christmas by Sarah Morgan, not Sarah Morgan, J.G. Colgan, but the other one is one that I cannot get out of my head all bloody month, and that is The Tangle of Spells, which was the latest book in that series, and my buddy read it with Charlie from Charles Heathcote, and the 4th book comes out in February. I will be buying it full price. I don't care, and Charlie, you got to read it with me. Bloody love that magical series. It's about sisters. What more could you love? So this video has been slightly longer than I had planned, but I've done it. With COVID, I've recorded, and I don't think I look as much as a ghost as I will look in the next video. Yeah, give it a quick heads up. My book haul video, shorter because I can barely talk, and I look like a ghost. Good luck. Hope you enjoy it though. Anyway, kids, you can come in now for this little end bit.
Hello!
If you like this video,
Give it a thumbs up.
If you're new to my channel and not subscribed yet, ring on the ding-a-ling, and we'll see you all soon. Hope you had a great Christmas and a Happy New Year. Bye-bye.
Happy New Year!